Hello once again and welcome back to another episode of Father and Sundays, the unexplainable guide to absolutely nothing. This week, it's episode 37.
37, my lucky number.
Is it? Okay.
No.
Alright, and we're talking about bucket lists.
Bucket lists.
Anyway, stick around if you want to hear more. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. I've got a bit of a cold, non-COVID, but it's a bit of a cold and none the same, so as per usual, I'll be sniffing a bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You recovered from last weekend yet?
What, the wedding?
The wedding.
The wedding of the century. Yes.
Nice
I
t-shirt.
Oh, thanks. I've got my Father of the Bride t-shirt on. Yes, I think so. I found it quite an emotional day, and I think since then I've kept replaying it in my mind, but what a day it was.
Yeah, it was incredible, wasn't it? I think when we recorded last time, we recorded it as in it was in the future, so it's worth just mentioning now. And it does relate back to bucket lists, because on a lot of people's bucket lists is weddings.
It certainly is, weddings.
So we linking it well. That means we can get away with talking about it for a bit. Yeah, and this is now the time where we can talk about how it went.
Yeah. Well, you say about bucket lists, yeah, definitely one of my bucket lists, and we'll talk about what a bucket list is, but would be to walk my daughters down the aisle. And
You're going to walk me down the aisle? That's
come true. Well, depending on the way your wedding goes, if you get married, then maybe. But to walk your daughter down the aisle must be certainly for me, was one of the most incredible things ever. So yes, I mean, what a day. What a day.
I mean, you did kind of feed two birds with one scone there, because you did walk me down the aisle as well.
I didn't walk you down the aisle. I think if I had my arm round you or was holding onto your arm, maybe that would be the case. We both walked Annie down the aisle.
It was interesting walking down the aisle, wasn't it? Annie's dress was pretty big.
We didn't quite anticipate, because I hadn't seen the dress, or neither of us had seen the dress before, moments before she actually got married.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of us actually were ready for how big the dress was.
No.
And nor was the venue.
No, it wasn't.
No, so I had to sort of negotiate some chairs, because I was being pushed into one side where the seats were, and getting my feet caught up in a dress as well. So
yeah, I seem to have not as much of a problem, because I was pushing Annie into Dad.
Yes. It wasn't quite the dream walk down the aisle I'd imagined. However, it was funny.
It was funny. Yeah.
And luckily, Annie thought it was funny as well. And I mean, the whole day was there was a lot of laughing. There was a few tears, but there was a lot of laughing. And the most important thing is both of them look so happy.
Yeah.
So everything we hoped it would be.
Most of the photos are of them laughing.
Yeah. Everything we hoped it to be. And I can remember what we were saying in the last episode. You know, it just was. It was pretty much perfect, and what a weekend. I mean, one thing I didn't really think about last time, and I actually mentioned it in the last episode, so I'm not normally one to cry, but when I see you cry, I cry. Well, I've not been to many weddings in my life, and I think this was the first wedding I made it all the way through, in the fact that my aunt and uncle's wedding, both aunt you
and
weren't
uncles,
sick, or you weren't late.
I wasn't
That's
sick,
what you're
and we weren't
talking about.
late. So I actually made it all the way through. And not only that, but it was my sister, and I'm quite protective of my sister. I got quite emotional.
You did. You got dangerously dehydrated.
Dangerously dehydrated from tears from my eyeballs.
From your eyeballs, yes, many tears.
Yes, and a headache. I got a headache as well. No, but
excuse me.
You're excused.
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
Yes, it was. I mean, let's face it. Everybody was.
Everybody's dead, Dave.
Everybody's dead, Dave. Everybody's dead, Dave. Everybody was choked up, and everybody dealt with it in different ways.
Turns out my way was making a puddle on the floor. From my face.
From your face. From your face.
From my face.
Not from your elsewhere. Yes, but, you know, it's the sort of thing that it's quite an extreme sort of situation. And, you know, one of the things that we talked about before the wedding, and something I talked about with Annie, was she was sure that I was going to cry when I first saw her in the dress.
Yeah,
I did, because I was thinking, how the hell are we going to get down the aisle with that? No, I did see her. She came down the stairs. She had the dress on. And I was choked. To see her like that because it's such a massive thing in someone's life.
Well, it was a massive dress, wasn't it?
A massive dress, yeah. And she looked absolutely stunning, beautiful, and she looked so happy. And that, over everything else, it just makes it. So I could sit and talk for another hour about the actual day.
Yeah, and I've got a brother-in-law.
Best not. Yeah, and I've got a new son-in-law. Welcome.
I can't get over saying that as well. Brother-in-law.
No, there you go.
It's quite exciting.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yes, and they're on their honeymoon now, so I hope they're having a lovely time. I think they'll still be on their honeymoon when this goes out, so yes.
Well, yeah.
Yes, they will do, yeah.
We're recording this a bit late to what we normally do.
We've had a little bit of time to get over the weekend.
We're recording this the day before it goes out.
Oh, my God.
I've got to edit it, and it's currently 8 o'clock at night.
No, never mind.
It goes out at 5 a.m.
So... is there anything else we want to talk about as far as that wedding is concerned? I mean, we may come back to it at times in the future anyway, because I certainly don't get bored of talking about it. But
yeah, not at the moment. Thank you for asking.
Okay, that's all right. Thank you. So, bucket list.
Bucket list.
So, what's a bucket list? What is a bucket list? Because as far as I can remember, it's something that perhaps I wasn't aware of, but something that became more sort of a term people used in the last 10 years or so. And from my point of view, as in things that you want to do before you kick the bucket.
Yeah. Is that where it's derived from? Or
I believe so, yeah. I believe that's what it is, a bucket list. So it's things that you need to get done before you actually kick the bucket or die.
You can say it again?
Yeah.
See if you do it third time, go on.
I think it's things that you do before you kick the bucket or die. Die, which is what it is, yeah. Anyway,
or
that's
pop
not...
your clogs.
Yeah, pop your clogs. But the thing is, like that Dutch girl that stood too near to something pointed.
Yeah, and had inflatable shoes.
Anyway, that was a terrible... I could have made that so much better. So, yes, so it's not something to get morbid about. It's something that perhaps is... It could be goals. It could be sort of life goals, or something you've always fancied doing, or dreams. You know, and I guess some things on people's lists might be quite difficult to obtain, but other things on there, a lot of other people do. You know, every day. You know, so there's quite a lot of. I suppose you could set yourself some achievable, some a little bit of a reach. You know. All sorts of things. There's no limit to what you can put on these things. Or if you want to do one in the first place anyway.
Sorry, Deb. I'm watching you move your legs around
my elaborate
very
little leg
slowly.
Walk. Yes, because I didn't want to kick anything and I was trying to rejig
Not
myself.
Make the chair creak and stuff.
So, with that in mind, I mean, I've had a look at the sort of things people have on there, and the people traditionally have a certain things on their bucket lists, right, to do. I've also had a look at a few strange ones that people seem to have on their bucket list, which we'll go into in a minute. But someone's just fallen off the top of the roof. Have you got what?
That was picked
is there
up.
something that you personally look to do? Something that you haven't ever done that you want to do that you could put down as something from a bucket list?
What I was about to say, see, there's a couple of things. There's things I want to do in my life.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to say something that isn't something that is doing something, but I had an intention of trying to visit as many different countries as I could.
Yeah, but that's a good one. That's one that I've seen in lists.
My intention was to try and visit a country that I've never been to, maybe every year or every 2 years.
Yeah.
So far, COVID hit, and it didn't go too well. I genuinely was at one point trying to plan to do something in like June, July of 2020. I'm glad I didn't book anything.
No, because obviously we've been living through quite extraordinary times as far as anything like that's concerned.
And I always wanted to live through a pandemic. So,
there's one off your bucket list then, yeah.
Sorry guys, it was my fault.
All right.
That wasn't true.
Travelling the world, I mean, that's something that, certainly from my point of view, I've been to a number of places, but not many. And I'd like to visit certain places in the world, so something that just pops into my head now. I'd love to go to New Zealand. Never been to New Zealand.
Yeah, I'd love to go to New Zealand.
Go and have a look at because it's such an incredible place. The scenery is so diverse from island to island. And I'll go and see some hobbits as well, because I'm fascinated with that side of it as well.
Yeah, fascinated with small people.
Small people, yes.
I had one, like, what's his name? That was two dwarves, each other, or two small people.
Nick Knowles.
Nick Knowles, yeah.
Yeah, Nick Knowles, two dwarfs in a jacket.
Yeah. Anyway, what was? Oh yeah. What I was going to mention is my sister, Becky, not the one that just got married, the other one.
Yeah.
And Sam.
Yeah.
He's not my sister though.
No.
Yeah, they managed to do quite a lot to tick off what I imagine is on quite a lot of people's bucket lists, as well as things that I would like to do in my life.
Yeah.
And they managed to do that like a number of years ago when they went to Australia.
They did, and certainly some of the photos they sent back and some of the sort of I don't know, messages we got back, I was sitting there going, oh, what? No. Oh, that's fantastic, See, I can think of a few already.
That's the scenario that you're in, though, because they went for a month, and when you do go to Australia, you normally go for something like a month.
To make it worthwhile, if you can possibly do that,
if you can do it, because it's a long trip.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily one you're going to be doing every year and stuff like that. Some people do, but whatever. I've said a lot in this episode. Anyway, let's carry on. With that trip there, they managed to do things that we didn't know they were going to do. They didn't know they were going to do. First of which comes to my head, skydiving.
Yes, I thought when they sent pictures of it that it was a mocked up.
You'd think it was a joke
thing.
Bearing in mind Becky can be very,
because I thought she wouldn't in a million years do it. But wow.
I mean, she won't be too upset with us saying the story, but I think it was actually the year before we went to, or a couple of years. But when did they go to Australia?
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what year now.
Feel like it might have been 2018 or maybe the year before. And we went to the Cotswolds in 2017, didn't we?
Yeah, not quite the same.
Yeah. Anyway, but we went to Go Ape.
Yep.
I don't know if it was the same time, but we went to Go Ape, and Becky was up in the trees in tears. And when you're up in the tree in tears, she was strapped to stuff constantly. I know she was jumping out of a plane strapped to a bloke that was behind her, but she wasn't attached to anything. Yet she did that. But
no, I guess, and we'd have to ask her this, but I guess the fact that she was strapped to someone and she didn't have to do anything, it was them doing everything.
Maybe, yeah.
Meant that I imagine if she was strapped to someone doing Go Ape, then she might have been all right there as well. Imagine
it depends who you're strapped to, because imagine if she was strapped to like Sam. Maybe she would have been in tears.
Yeah, it might have been terrible. It might have been the most accident-prone person I've ever met. He is accident-prone.
Just today alone, he smashed a window and sliced open his finger.
Yep.
Incredible bloke he is.
He should be in the Guinness Book of Records.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, no, I get that. And on the same holiday, they were kayaking and a whale went underneath them.
Yeah.
And
left its footprint.
Again, I think it freaked them out a little bit. However, for me, I'd live off that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, she didn't want to go kayaking with manatees in Florida.
No.
Another
Bizarre.
thing.
This is not all about her, by the way.
Same holiday.
Yeah.
Same holiday. They went scuba diving.
They did indeed, yeah.
On the Great Barrier Reef.
Oh, I mean, these are things people dream of doing.
Yeah. Incredible. I mean, I don't know if they actually got any qualification. Like, they had obviously to do a minor bit of training, I assume.
Yeah.
But they obviously had to do. But
it's all about how deep you can dive.
Did they do the thing you have to do in a pole before you can go diving?
They may have done that. Tends to be the normal, so you get to use the apparatus.
They've got a qualification. I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, it's from what I gather, you do a certain amount of training, and depending on how much training you've done and how many parts of it you've passed, then you get to dive deeper and deeper, because obviously it's a lot more dangerous. So anyway, she got a few of them, and on my list, definitely on my list, would be things like whale watching, and I would like to, as much as it frightens me, but I would like to do a parachute jump or a skydive.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess they're achievable things as well. People do them a lot for charity and stuff. So
diving on a reef would be one big one.
And then
me.
Scuba diving as well. As much as I get freaked out by things in the water, you know, I don't even want to put my finger up. I wouldn't put my finger in your fish tank. That made it sound more sinister than it was. I wouldn't want to put my hand in your fish tank in case a fish web came up. Yeah, exactly. But
they used to nibble at my arms when I first
see, now that would do me. But going scuba diving, yeah, I would like to try and do it. I would like to give it a go.
Fact check.
In last week's weddings podcast, Conor said he rarely cries and only then as a result of someone else crying. This is untrue, as he cried like a baby several times during the wedding without any assistance.
Fact check.
Okay, so really, I mean, I've got a long list of things that I'd like to do in my lifetime.
I'd like to do a handstand whilst drunk.
Oh, you've had that on your to-do list for a long while, haven't you? What about things like, I mean,
that, to be fair.
When I look down the list we've talked about certain ones here, but I'd like to see the Northern Lights.
Oh,
that seems to be a typical one.
No, I agree with you there, though.
Yeah, no, I'd love to do that. I seem to have inadvertently put being an orangutan for the day. I don't think I actually want to be an orangutan for the day. I think I want to be at one of the centres that rescue centres. You can go out and volunteer and do that.
Yeah, I'll volunteer as an orangutan.
You can volunteer as an orangutan. Yeah, you're halfway there, aren't you? Living on a prayer. Storm chasing, right? I'd love to storm chase like the Twister film. Me and Mum would love to do that. I mean, it's certainly it's some of this stuff is adrenaline sort of fueled, isn't it? Because I mean it would be frightening and exciting all at the same time. But I'd love to do that. Go through America along is it Tornado Alley they call it, or Hurricane Alley?
Don't know. I know what Death Valley is. But
Death Valley or
Diagon Alley.
Diagon Alley, yeah, something like that. It's called Great Wall of China.
What about it?
That restaurant down on the London Road.
Right.
No, I'd love to go and walk the Great Wall of China. That's something that you said about going to different places around the world, different countries. But for me, it's more to do with places within those countries, certain cities. Perhaps it's something like that, which is one of the like the pyramids, or seeing that sort of thing. You know.
See, I want to go to Ecuador.
Why would you want to go? No, sorry. Not why would you want to go to Ecuador? Why would you be drawn to go to Ecuador?
Because it's on the equator.
Yeah.
I want to go to the equator.
Okay.
Because
you know it's not a line in the ground, don't you? Yeah?
No, in some places it is. To be fair.
It?
Yeah.
Okay.
You go one side of the equator, things behave differently to the other. I really want to go to the southern hemisphere though.
Yeah.
Because the night sky in the southern hemisphere, wow.
Well, there's a lot, you know. There's so many beautiful
the edge
places.
of the galaxy kind of thing.
Yeah. Other stuff. I'd like to. I used to play live in a band.
Did you?
Yeah, I used to play in a band, so we play live. I'd like to do that again. As much as that terrifies me at the same time, I'd like to do it one more time. I'd like to write a book.
You never know if Father and Sundays takes off.
Well, we might be doing it. Yeah, I'd like to write a book
shows.
And a slightly disappointing follow-up book.
Hello, Crawley.
Crawley, yeah, Crawley. I'd like to play football at the London Stadium.
Yep.
I'd have loved to have played football at Upton Park, but that's no longer possible.
Next best thing.
I have had the chance to play at other grounds, but I'd love to play at London Stadium. But perhaps my football days are behind me now. I did climb Everest. Right now, obviously, I talked about things being obtainable. Now, obviously, that is obtainable, but it would take a huge amount of effort, money, and sacrifice in order to do that. So
yeah, because you do have to sacrifice a goat before you climb it.
Do you?
Yep.
Oh, right. I'm not sure I want to do it now. I would like
to
fact
check that.
Visit all the Disney parks around the world.
Yeah, I want to do that.
because I've watched some of the documentaries about Disney, and I'd like
Disney
to
Sea.
Yeah, and go and see what some of the other ones anyway. We've been lucky enough to see.
I can't remember. I want to go to Antarctica.
Would you?
Yeah.
Why would you want to go there?
Why wouldn't you want to go there? It's so different.
No, I'm not saying you shouldn't.
It's so different from anywhere. Like, yes, I would love to go to a desert, love to go to a jungle and stuff like that. I don't know, but Antarctica just seems like one of these places that would be difficult to go, so would be great to go to. Seeing penguins.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Because who doesn't love penguins? Penguins.
Yeah. I'd like to be an extra in a film.
Which film?
Any film.
Oh.
Probably a film I'd like.
All right.
There's certain films I'm going to sneeze in. There's certain films that I like more than others.
I'm excited for the sneeze. Big build up. Hey!
Sorry about that. Yeah, I know a couple of people that do extra work in films.
Show off.
And there's nothing to show off about, but I just think it'll be incredible.
You're name dropping now.
But it'd be incredible to watch something and be in it, you know.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, I'll get such a thrill if I happen to be on, when I do races, if I happen to be on someone's YouTube channel running past or something like that. So imagine actually being in a film.
He's on someone's YouTube video running the London landmarks in 20...
And the Richmond...
Richmond.
Half,
Same guy.
Same guy, yeah.
Do you know his name?
No.
All right. What year was the London landmarks one though?
18, I'm going to say.
All right.
Just throwing that out there. Probably it wasn't.
I want to say 17, but it's only because I want to say something beginning with 7.
You mentioned kayaking with manatees, and I think we might get an opportunity to do that. But it's basically a place where they take injured manatees and bring them back sort of to healthy, and to raise money to run that. You can, and it's very inobtrusive to the manatees, but they're very used to people go through in kayaks and just slowly go through and watch them, and if they're there, they're there, if they're not, they're not, you know. It's but we'd like to do that. We've said about doing that before.
Safari.
It's a goodie.
Would you go on a safari?
Yes, I'd love to go on a safari. There's loads of things. Hot air ballooning safari, that's a particular thing that people do.
How about
Yeah.
See, one of mine, which I feel like is more obtainable nowadays, is I would like to take a trip to space.
Yes.
I feel like within my lifetime that could be a possibility.
I think you're probably right. I mean, it's certainly in the last few years there's been you know, opportunities for people. They're taking bookings, aren't they, for the particular first ones out into the atmosphere, the Earth's atmosphere. So, but I mean,
maybe the moon. That'd be great. That'd be a good holiday destination.
I did go through a long list of stuff. I'd like to run. I did just come across that. I'd like to run some races in different countries. I'm reading a book at the moment about a guy that ran a marathon in every single country.
What's the name of the book?
I run a marathon in every single country.
Is that the name of the book?
No,
right.
I can't remember what it's called. But it's really interesting.
Be rubbish with brand deals.
I know, it's terrible. But then I looked at some weird bucket list items, and there's people be bitten by a shark, not eaten, just bitten. Because they basically want a scar. They want a scar so they can say, "Oh, you see that?
Yeah,
shark."
How'd you get that scar?
Yeah,
shark bite.
Yeah,
it is cool.
Look at that, sat on a pencil. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I once sat on a tack.
Did you?
Yep.
All right. Is it still in there?
Nope. Pulled it out.
Good. Glad to hear it. Sleep in a coffin overnight.
Just see what it's like, I guess.
Yeah,
but prepare yourself for the big day.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be... Presumably, you wouldn't know what's going on anyway. I mean, that goes into... There are certain things... I'm quite interested in ghosts and ghost stories and things like that. I don't know what I believe or whatever, but people go to houses that are particularly supposed to be haunted.
Yeah.
I'd quite like to do that with a group of people. That would be terrifying and funny. I don't know.
Mr. Beast, the YouTuber, he spent I think it was a couple of days. He spent a couple of days buried alive in a coffin, a glass coffin.
See, that sounds like an ordeal rather than that seems like a stunt rather than it being something.
Oh, yeah. He got infused, didn't it?
See a ghost.
It was good, though.
I mean, that's a bit of a weird one to have on your bucket list. See a ghost.
Yes. Well, because
you don't believe they
it's
exist.
all in your mind.
And one of the ones that made me laugh: hire 2 private investigators and get them to follow each other.
Excellent. No, I like that. I'd do that.
Yeah. So that's just to annoy them. But then you look down the other side. I mean, it's like tattoos. People say, "Oh, have piercings." Haven't had. Sometimes these can be seen as midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Sort of people decide that kind of mixes in with their bucket list because at that point in time they feel that their youth is disappearing into the distance and they've got to capture it by doing, you know, I know many people have had tattoos and pierced belly buttons or piercing.
Like you?
I know, neither
Nipples?
of those. In later life as a kind of statement to where they are.
Do you think you ever went through like a midlife crisis?
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
What do you think you
Just
did?
a crisis, I think. Well, I don't know. I mean, it can affect people in different ways. I think there is an element of when you get older, when you get to a point where suddenly you feel like you've got to do all these things, like these bucket lists. Suddenly you feel
I think it's because
time's running out. I've got to squeeze everything out of life that I possibly can.
I think it's because when you reach a certain age, you go, wow, the probability is I'm closer to the end of my life than I am the start, and you feel like I haven't managed to do all these things. So I get it because it's a scary thought. However, life expectancy is longer, so you could have reached that at 40 and you could be living to 100.
Yeah, but there's possibly, I mean, I'm reasonably fit, but there's possibly stuff that I would have on a bucket list that perhaps I'm starting to reach the age where it probably wouldn't be a good idea for me to do it.
Well, I accept what you're saying, but then I also look at my 91-year-old nan, and yes, there's some things she wouldn't do now, but a couple years ago she would have been fine doing it. So
no, that is very true. I was only talking about,
and also going back to the wedding, she did some excellent dancing.
She did some excellent dancing, but I was talking to someone about, I went to Austria a few years back and took NJ to Austria, and she was she must have been in her late 80s at that point.
Yeah,
and she
probably
went
about 88 maybe.
Yeah, and we went tobogganing, and she actually, she went on a toboggan on her own down the nursery slopes, which was just incredible. And then me and her went on a toboggan from the top of the mountain down a particular slope, which was terrifying, upsetting. She loved it. She laughed a lot all the way down. There were points where I felt like this is going to be the worst thing ever. I was going to have to phone my... I just had these images. Well, there was certain things that happened. One time, I was sitting behind her and I rolled us off of it, and the toboggan went down over the edge because there was no... I mean, if you've ever been skiing and that, it's very dangerous. Over the edge and got stuck in a tree. And then I had to go down there to get it, to bring it up. All this time she was laughing her head off, but we nearly went off the side a few times because you really pick up speed. And in my head, all I kept thinking was, I'll have to make a phone call to my brother and sister and say, I've killed Mum. And they're in a way, right? There's a
just
classic.
To clarify, this didn't happen.
It didn't happen. She's 91. She's fine. But there's pictures of us in the car park after we came down, because I took a long while coming down. I'd actually really damaged my knee. Yeah. But I spent the whole time with my heel kept banging into the ice to slow us down. And it was agony, but there was just, I didn't want to pick up too much speed until the end. I don't think I spoke for quite a while after it happened. I might have said a couple of things and then got in the car, and I was absolutely mortified. I was so in shock. She had the best time of her life. She was laughing her head off and talking about it, and there's pictures of her in the car park looking really, really happy. There's pictures of me looking like I don't know, it was the end of the world or something.
I can imagine.
We laugh now about
having a scenario like that, and I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying, but in a sense, if you're doing something like that and you're thinking, I'm just having fun, I don't care what happens, I'm having fun doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe she was doing that. Maybe she was just
I think
in euphoria.
She was.
In the fact
and in
that,
a way,
I know it's dangerous, but it was a lot of fun.
It taught me a lesson. She has
no fear.
Well, she has.
does have fear.
I mean, she will go on a zip wire, but be a bit careful with it these days. She used to go on roller coaster, then decide she wouldn't go on a roller coaster, went over because of her blood pressure. I mean, because she was in her 70s then, her late 70s maybe then. But yeah, incredible. So that is a lesson to me and people of my age that we have got so much we can do and do for as long as we want to do.
Be more like Nanny Joyce.
Yeah. Be more like NJ. I'll have a T-shirt printed up, I think.
Yeah.
Be more NJ.
So we have a song.
We have a song.
Oh.
What do you mean, oh?
Oh no, I was just making a noise.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I wrote a song.
You wrote a song. Would you like me to play the song?
Play the song,
Would you like to say what it's about, or just wait?
Well, it'd be fairly obvious what it's about, but yeah, just play the song.
Alright, I'll play the song.
Swimming with sharks for a bit of a laugh sounds like something I'd probably do. Or get gripped by the drama of shaving a llama in the valleys and mountains of Peru. A wing walk strapped to Kylie Minogue might be just the thrill I'm after. Write a humorous sketch for Ants and Deck and then go and collect my BAFTA. You better take your list from the bucket, 'cause you never know when you might just snap it, and then you're going to be upset if your lifelong wish was to go to Tibet. Want to play the drums now, that sounds like fun. Swim the River Thames in the nude. Abseil down a building, send some flowers to no fielding, are just some of the things I'll never do. Walk the Great Wall of China as an oversized vagina might be something that will tick a box. Jump out of a plane, dance and sing in the rain, wear a pair of brightly coloured socks. You better take your list from the bucket, 'cause you never know when you might just snap it, and then you're going to be upset if your lifelong wish was to go to Tibet. You better take your list from the bucket, 'cause you never know when you might just snap it, and then you're going to be upset if your lifelong wish was to go to Tibet. Do 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 dee do 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 do.
Love it.
Do you?
Yeah.
I do apologise about the singing, but I've got a cold,
Yeah.
and I only recorded the vocals a little while ago, if you can call them vocals, so not my best, I'm afraid, but yeah.
I thought it was great. And I think you mentioned about wanting to walk the Great Wall of China, didn't you? As well?
Yes, and we'll say no more about that.
Yep.
Yeah. But no, I think, the whole sentiment of the song is get your list from the bucket before you snuff it.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Oi!
Oh, bucket lists.
Yes, bucket lists. Anyway,
Time for a
glad
game?
you enjoyed it. Yeah, time for a game. Let's do it.
Game time.
It was time for a game. You've got a game?
Yeah, I've got a game.
You got a game?
Yeah. It's definitely not something I've slung together at the last minute.
No.
No.
How does it relate to bucket lists?
Well, there's a bucket,
All right.
and I've got a couple of lists.
Excellent. Well, one thing I can always rely on you for. Have you
Yeah.
got a sting?
Of course, I've got a sting.
I'll play it then.
He's got an orange bucket on his head. He's got an orange bucket on his head. He's got an orange bucket on his head. It must be quiz time.
Well, another fantastic sting there, Dad, and I really like the build-up that you had there, up until the point where you said he's got an orange bucket on his head.
Yeah, and I know the elephant in the room being that we've got 2 buckets.
Yep.
Right. One of them's orange, one of them's yellow.
Well, we got more than 2, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah.
We're rich in buckets.
We're quite a well-to-do family.
I've got 3 buckets with lids.
3
from a fish
buckets, a
tank.
semi-detached bucket, and one in the country. A holiday bucket in the country. We've got 2 that I can particularly think of, and I actually cleaned up the wrong one. So the sting says orange bucket, and I've got a yellow bucket. So I do apologise.
Right. Shall we just cancel the podcast?
Well, maybe. Yeah.
I think this is
It's
it.
not the
This
worst
is the
thing
last
that's
episode,
happened,
isn't
is
it?
it? Yeah. Okay. So this quiz, I've got a series of questions.
I didn't really understand. Sorry, am I wearing a bucket on my head?
You are?
And that's how it relates to bucket lists.
Yeah.
Excellent.
There's a bucket, and I've got some lists.
You did say that.
What?
You did say that.
I did say that, yeah. So, in a second, and I might ask you to pause the recording while I fit the bucket on your head.
Fit it.
Yes, fit it. And then we're going to have a series, not many questions, but a few questions, and
Right.
we'll see where we go from there.
And we'll test the audio just before we do this as well.
Yeah, that might be a good
actually,
idea,
Let's do a brief test before we actually go ahead.
Okay.
Shall we go ahead with putting the bucket on?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right, we'll be back briefly after I've got the bucket on my head. Well, bucket's getting knocked around. Right, so I've now got the bucket on top of my head. Just for clarity, the mic is inside the bucket, so the audio shouldn't be too bad. We hope.
Okay, no.
Can you confirm I've got the bucket on my head?
I can. I've took a couple of photos of you as well.
All right,
so.
excellent.
Right. So, there's a series of questions I'd like to ask you, Buckethead. Right. First of all, we're going to start with a list.
Sir Buckethead to you.
Sir Buckethead, right? So, what I want you to do, I've going to read you out a list. Right? Bucket, list.
Excellent.
And I want you to fill in the gap. Right?
Right.
So, here's a list for you.
I don't know why this is a lot harder because I'm not looking at you, but yeah.
Beauty and the Beast. Aladdin. Pocahontas. The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Lion King.
Wow. Straight in with the Lion King. Well done.
That was the order they came out in, wasn't it?
It was the order they came out in. I didn't realise you were going to get that. I didn't think you were going to get that.
Well, not just a furry face, me.
So that's not only a list with you with a bucket on your head, it's something that people with Disney, we've already talked about going to all the Disney parks and everything like that.
This bucket smells.
Yeah, I know. The orange one doesn't.
Was this the
Sorry
one that
about
you took camping?
What, the one I weed in?
Yeah.
My emergency wee bucket?
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Okay, I've got another one for you then.
Okay.
Another list for you.
Yep.
William, Richard, Thomas, Charles.
William Richard. Is this royals?
William, Richard, Thomas, Charles.
Philip?
No. So you're going along the lines of these being names of royals.
Well, wasn't there a King William? Then a King Richard?
Well, you know, you've got William, Prince William now, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've got Richard the Third. Don't know about Thomas.
Thomas.
Charles, obviously.
Oh, wasn't there a Thomas around Thomas Cornwall?
Cromwell.
Cromwell, that's it.
Cornwall. Fact check. Anyway, no, you're well off.
All right.
This list is from 1954. And those names were 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th on a list.
Doctors.
No, on a list of popular names. So what is the missing name?
So it's William, Richard, Thomas, and
Charles.
Peter.
Nope, Gary. So it's
Oh my goodness.
1954, ninth place in the most popular names. Boys' names was Gary.
And that's the last
Probably-
time someone was named Gary as well.
Probably, no. Probably after Gary Cooper, who was in High Noon at that particular time, and being a cowboy in it, being a film star, I think people tend to name their kids after things like that anyway.
Like I was named after Highlander.
You were. Incidentally, number 1 was Michael, 2 James, 3 Robert, John was 4th, and David was 5th.
Oh.
Okay. So, I've got another list for you.
Have you?
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
Ready?
Yep.
6'8", 5'11". 5'2", 4'7".
So it's 6'8", 5'11", 5'2", 4'11".
No, 4'7".
4'7". 5'6".
No, I'm afraid it's 5'9".
Oh. Is any does this list come from anywhere?
No, it was just the heights of things.
Did you measure things?
No.
Or just random heights?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Excellent.
I'm going to do something now into the mic, and I want you to guess what it is from a bucket list.
Right.
All right?
Okay.
See if you can get it. Hello, Conor. How's your bucket? Are you okay?
It's a snorkel. It's diving. Scuba diving. Snorkeling.
Well done. Oh, God, you could take it. That was a bit too tight, that was. We're getting all these right. This is a bit embarrassing, really.
Now the bucket makes sense because I couldn't see that.
No, you
Before
couldn't
it would just
see
be
that.
wearing a bucket on my head.
Okay. I'm
Because you
going to
could
try
have done the other stuff without
I'm
the
going to
bucket.
try something now, right? And it's
Yeah.
going to be a sound. Right?
What, like the last one?
Yeah, but it's going to be a sound that from my phone.
Well, we'll see how this works out then, won't we?
Yeah, we will see how it works out. It might not necessarily. It
Well,
might necessarily.
We picked up
not.
Annie once before, so...
We did, so I'll give it a go anyway, right? Well, hopefully. Here we go then. Okay.
Is it a killer whale? I know it's a whale.
Well, that was a humpback whale, so unfortunately you
I
weren't
changed it to whale.
No, well, I was specific about
All right, humpback whale then.
Yes, it was a humpback whale. Well
First
done.
time.
Dear. Okay, I've got another one for you. Right?
Yep.
And talk amongst yourselves while I am...
Hello, my name is Conor. Are you searching on his phone?
Okay. Are we ready for this?
Yep.
Let's do this. So where's that from?
There's one or two things.
Yep.
It's either the A127 on a windy day
Yep.
or a tornado.
No. You sure? Have another little think about it. What could that possibly be that would be on a bucket list? I've talked about it a bit earlier.
That's what I thought with storm chasing.
Well, yeah, no, I did talk about that. That's
Hot air
absolutely
balloon.
true. No.
The moon.
No.
Getting married.
No.
Is it obvious?
It isn't obvious.
Right. So,
It is the top of, well, it sounds from the
Mount
top
Everest.
of Mount Everest.
right.
Okay. So I've got another one for you. You ready?
Yep. That was a horrible noise.
Do you want it again?
Scalextrics.
Sounded like that, didn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's a zip line.
It is a zip line. Well done. These are far too easy.
Is that from your own collection, that zip line noise?
No, that's from my... I've got an album of zip wire noises.
Right.
That's from number 9.
Excellent.
Okay, and I think we've got one more, and it's a list. So I'm going to read you out these
Sorry,
names.
you think we've got one more?
No, we have got one
Yeah,
more.
right, okay.
Right. Fawcett, Jones, Scott, Hillary, Hunt. Which one of those is the odd one out? Fawcett, Jones, Scott, Hillary, and Hunt.
What was the third one?
Scott.
That one.
I'm afraid that is incorrect. What did you base that?
Politicians.
No. See, these are adventurers. So, when I was at primary school, we had houses, right? Much like I believe you did as well, because you were in Hufflepuff, wasn't you?
No. I was in Holmes.
Oh.
After Kelly Holmes.
Oh, were you? In Holmes after
that-
Kelly Holmes?
That was in secondary school. And
Not
in
of
primary
Eamon
school.
Holmes.
No, not Eamon Holmes. And in primary school, it was also... I was in Oak. After Oak Tree.
Okay. Well, I was in a Hunt, right?
Yep,
Which-
makes sense.
But Scott, we're talking about Scott of the Antarctic. Fawcett, I believe, was a explorer
Tap.
in the jungle.
A tap.
Hillary and Hunt climbed Everest. Edmund Hillary. I believe Hunt did the same. The actual odd one out was Jones, because that's Indiana Jones and he's not actually real.
Or Jessica Jones.
Yeah, but I'm talking about adventurers.
Right.
Okay.
Is Indiana Jones an adventurer?
He is.
He's
He
an
does
archaeologist.
adventures. You have Indiana Jones and the...
Lost.
Yeah. Comb, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Plot. And look, he's lost the plot. So that's the... You can, if you like, you can remove your bucket now.
All right, I'm just going to stop the recording.
No, it's a vast
briefly, so-
improvement.
Hello, Dad. I have now removed the bucket.
Yes, you have. Well done.
It's very bright in this room now.
It is bright in this room.
And my neck, I was just stuck looking
The
downwards so I could
future's
face the
bright.
mic.
The bucket's not orange.
Nope.
Did you enjoy that? That was
Yeah, I did,
just a sort of silly little singy. Just a chance for me to
Did
put
you
a bucket
see?
on your head. And
Yep. No, I enjoyed that.
I was
It
originally going to throw things at. Sorry, I know you keep trying to talk there. I was originally going to throw things at you with the bucket on your head, and you had to
Yeah.
guess what I was throwing at you. But it seemed like that was probably problematic.
in such a small space. Didn't
Yes, yeah, exactly.
you? Maybe
That
one
was such a
day.
bad aim. Yes, maybe one day. Yeah.
That we've been saying since the beginning of the podcast. Maybe one day we'll be in a bigger room.
Yep, we will be.
I'm painting at the moment, so yeah.
Yeah,
Nearly there.
great stuff. Anyway, what's next then? Do we need to
Well,
wrap up, or have we got other stuff we need to
We're
discuss?
coming to the end of the podcast, but I don't know if you remember last week, but I said that we had an email come through.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
We had a message from our website, fatherinsundays.com. Yes, we had something come through, which I didn't get a chance to read last week because there was so much going on, just couldn't get through it.
We're very
However,
busy.
Very, very busy people, and it was a very long episode last week
it was.
anyway, so... But we have had another message from Anonymous H.
Right.
And so it looks like it's in response to our previous one,
Okay.
which was a couple of episodes ago.
What would that have been?
So this is when...
Solar system?
What, the episode?
Yeah. Or time travel?
Something like that. Basically, the initial one was stop picking on father.
Yep.
And it was
Totally endorse
it was
that.
from the episode Running.
Okay, yeah.
So I think it wasn't necessarily the episode after that, but it was the episode after that.
Okay.
So it sounds like it's probably solar system. Anyway, and I was being told off for correcting you when I
said something or
you
something.
said something.
Yeah.
And I corrected it, and then because I just couldn't hold it back, and then I got moaned at for saying things wrong. Anyway, which I don't believe I did. Anyway.
Kick the bucket.
Anonymous H. This is subject Stop Picking on Father, part 2. So he's really been thinking about this, been overthinking it, and I hear this isn't just a joint effort of one person. This is
just read out the complaint first before you start to pick it apart. So I feel that you're already on the back foot here.
Well, I have read it already. But
okay.
Hi, father and son. I really didn't want to have to send in another complaint, but seeing as you didn't properly address it last time, and now that you have had a chance to listen back to the Running podcast, 1 minute 11 seconds in, you will realise that you did in fact correct father incorrectly. What do you have to say for yourself? Look forward to hearing your excuse, anonymous winky face. They've gone back in it because I didn't correct you wrong. I did correct you correctly. I said, this is what you did wrong.
So what, they're saying it's an apology?
They're apologising to us, I assume.
Really?
Sounds like it, because they've clearly got it wrong again.
Are you sure about that? I love
they
Do you
seem to
know
be
what I
making a
like the
complaint.
most about that is the timing. I could just imagine two people sitting there, one person talking about what they wanted to say and the other one with a stopwatch making sure it's exactly the time in the actual podcast. So
And we know they do that because they've done it before.
I've seen them do it.
Sorry, they're anonymous, so we don't know who it is.
Yeah,
except
I think I saw them do it.
I can see
can't
your
be
email
sure it was
address.
them.
I can see your email address, Becky.
Okay.
Sorry, anonymous.
So are they? Sorry. So are they saying again that you keep doing
So what
it?
I've been told here is they're making a complaint about the fact that I didn't correctly correct you, but I did correct you correctly.
You believe you corrected me.
Well, you did say something.
Yeah, but I think what their point was that you corrected me using the same, with the same problem in your.
No, they seem to think that I said something with an F rather than a TH.
Okay.
Sorry, I've been distracted. Are you okay? Have you hurt yourself?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there to my. Yeah, go on, carry on.
Sorry, didn't mean to. I don't know why I'm apologising. It wasn't my fault.
No.
Yeah, they seem to think that I said something incorrectly after that, but
Okay, so you're just
all
not
right.
going to accept it, no?
well, I don't really understand what they're saying.
Okay. All right. Okay, moving on. Have we got anything else?
Oh yes, actually, we have had another email.
Yes.
This one is in relation to our last week's episode.
Okay.
So, first things first, this is from Andrew. Yes?
Yes, I know
Yes.
who Andrew was. I thought you were going to just go on and talk.
So, the subject is corrections.
Okay.
It's a message.
Corrections, yeah.
Message. I think both David and Mary are completely and objectively wrong in their choices of what to order in a Wetherspoons.
What?
He said the only thing one should order in a Wetherspoons is a taxi to go somewhere else.
Wow. Right,
So I
okay.
don't think he likes Wetherspoons. I mean, I get...
You're reading between the lines, are you there?
Yeah. I get it, but the one thing to do like about Wetherspoons is how cheap it is. But anyway.
I bet he's one of
Each
them
their own.
sort that goes to the wimpy. They always think they're better than us, these people that go to
Yeah.
Wimpy's for a bender
For
in the bun.
A drink.
Yes.
A drink in Wimpy. Excellent. I do get it that there are loads better places than a
Of
Wetherspoons.
course there is.
But at the same time, it's cheap, isn't it?
It's cheap and it provides something or other for me when I can't be bothered to do anything else.
Yep.
So I get it. I
Becky
get
and
it.
Sam live really
I'm
close
not
to Wetherspoons.
overly keen on the way it's run sometimes, but they do a chicken tikka masala.
I tell you what, when you're sitting there, they've got a Wetherspoons news magazine sitting on most of the tables, and I normally just read through those and laugh just because they're normally quite stupid. Anyway, next line. More importantly, so it's more important than that, the last episode really should not have an apostrophe in the title. It is about weddings, plural, and not weddings, possessive. I mean, yes, he's correct. At the time I was thinking, and I think we had a discussion, has it got to have apostrophe or not? And I think it was just, we'll put an apostrophe in. And looking back,
Hang on.
yes, it was absolutely
We
wrong.
had a discussion.
Yeah, we always do.
I don't remember a discussion. This
Well, you've
this
obviously
comes
clearly-
down to no. This is getting more and more happening
would
these
you-
days.
I'm
Yeah, I
sorry,
wouldn't-
I'm not going to take the fact that you said that you...
I get blamed for everything. It doesn't matter whether I was there or not. It always seems to be me.
When we
that's-
are writing the things up for the episode to go on, I go, Dad, this is what I'm writing, I read it back to you. And I also normally go, and I did in this episode, I said, do we put an apostrophe in weddings or not? And you said, yes.
But you know I don't listen to you when you talk about it.
So I think it's a joint one, that one.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, since then, as soon as I saw this email, which I received on Tuesday,
Yeah. You've gone back in and altered it?
I
yeah?
changed it straight away. I don't know how quickly it updated on the website, but I do know that it updated on Spotify almost instantly. So I apologise for that, Andrew. It has been corrected. Your feedback has been taken on board.
Really, I've got to say, if that's the worst thing that we do,
Well, it's not.
it isn't, is it?
There's
is
another
it something-
line.
Oh, what?
Most importantly, so it's gone from the first thing to more importantly, but most importantly, you forgot to mention Sue. Totally screwed up my father and Sunday's drinking game. A shot every time anybody mentions Disney, Star Wars, Sue or dinosaurs, etc. Apart from that, good work.
Right.
He does have an ellipsis. Apart from that, good work.
Good work. All right. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you,
We
Andrew.
asked for feedback. We're getting feedback.
Yeah.
So addressing all of those, I probably will continue to go to Weatherspoons every now and again. Certainly isn't my first choice, but sometimes it serves a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been good at as far as
Words,
grammar
apparently.
and word, or speaking is concerned. So it's the way it goes, and we apologise and we've rectified that. And thirdly, hi Sue, hope you're okay, Sue. I know we haven't mentioned you for a little while, and it's obviously causing a bit of aggravation for other people.
And you can take a shot now.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Sue, 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 Sue.
And also Disney, Star Wars, Sue or dinosaurs.
Yep.
Anything else that we normally mention that will mean that he has to drink? Try and get Andrew drunk.
No.
Nope.
That's all
Nope.
the things we cover.
Absolutely.
Just in very different
Or we normally call
ways.
back to previous episodes like Bigfoot and Kit Kats.
and Kit
and
Kats,
punching-
things like
punching
that.
the
Punching
face.
the face and things like that. Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh dear.
This episode's been a bit all over the place.
It
But
has.
you know what?
I
I'm
don't-
fine with it because
I
we
don't
had
care.
last week's
Neil.
episode. We built up to the episode last week.
We're
This
still
week
we're still on cloud nine from that.
we were very tired and we put off the actual recording for an entire week. And this is what you
that's
get
fine.
in.
This is what you get when that happens.
We need to take a little bit of a break, didn't we? But we managed to still get an episode recorded. So
No, good stuff. All right then. So,
that's enough making excuses for this episode.
yep.
If you do want to leave a message, much like those, I was about to say lovely people, but I'll just stick with people. If you do want to leave a message, you can do so on the website, as I mentioned, fatherandsundays.com. Go to the contact page and you can leave us a message on there, whether it be a question, comment, suggestion or complaint. You can listen to us on multiple platforms. I'm so sorry, I had a bit of a thing in my throat then. I was trying to...
You did. It's all
Yeah.
about the body with you, isn't it?
Yeah, all about the body. We've got on our website as well, you can listen to our podcast on there, but you can also listen to our podcast on any platform, all the different platforms, whichever you choose.
Yep.
You can do it.
Yep.
Yep. Leave reviews on some of those as well,
Yep.
if you can.
Yep.
But the website, great place to go, fatherandsundays.com. I'll mention it again.
Yep.
Got the as I said, the contact page, the actual episode.
There'll be a couple of photos up there by the end of the...
Do you reckon?
Yep.
Do you promise?
I'm not going to say when. By the end of a certain period of
All right.
measurement of time.
Decade?
Yeah.
Anyway, there will be some photos apparently up there.
Yeah.
And on the blog page, I assume.
Yep.
Yep. Which is the the What's New section. And also, there is a store which helps keep this going. So if you do want to buy anything or purchase anything from that, which does help us fund this a little bit here, then absolutely do so if you feel so inclined to do so.
Okay.
Anything else to mention?
No, that's the lot.
Oh, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We got those.
Yep.
Like, follow on those.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right.
Okay.
So until next time.
Okay.
Bye then.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.